some call it cockiness, some would call it being a diva. But when you're good, it's not bragging. An elite wide receivers and the confidence they exude often permeates an entire team, and we're going to see a couple of examples of that in this one. Welcome to the home of the Penn State Nittany Lions, Beaver Stadium in State College, Pennsylvania. As we'll see the number 21 team in the country, the LSU Tigers, taking on the 8th-ranked team in the land, the Penn State Nittany Lions. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. LSU will put a foot to it for the opening kickoff. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Looking downfield on first down. Throws to the wideout. He's got an open man. There he goes. Big gain on that one as he steps out of bounds with a first down. And why waste any time? Get right to it. The offense with a big play right out of the gate.
And sending a clear message, Reese, they are going to take shots. They've got playmakers. They've got dudes that can get downfield and locate the football. I love the attitude right out of the gate.
Couldn't find anybody to throw to. He'll just toss it away. It'll be second down. Couldn't make the connection last time. Let's see if they throw it again. Lost to fire on second down. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down. Guys, let's think big picture for a minute and talk about Penn State. At this point in the season, you're probably in if the playoff starts today, but it doesn't. A long way to go, and the margins will be extra thin from here on out.
No, because if the season ended today, you're basically right on the cusp outside of the top 5, so you need to keep winning. You need to keep the intensity up, playing with a sense of urgency for the second half of the season, David. I think that's a massive key for this team.
Man, it's so hard with young kids, 17, 18, 19, 20 years old, to get them to continue to focus on the game in and game out, not the rankings, not down the road. That'll be the challenge down the stretch.
Well, just nothing doing on that last run, and they knew coming into this one they were going to be challenged, right? This is one of the best defenses in all of college football. For them to have any shot, they're going to have to do a lot better running the football.
Into the end zone. Can't make the grab as he was going for 6 right there.
Well, on the opening drive of the game, establishing a rhythm and a cadence offensively is really, really important. They've done some good things on this first drive to put them in this situation. Obviously, you just threw an incompletion on second down. Likely going to...
Looking for the end zone. And he'll take it in and house it. Touchdown, Penn State.
Well, they wanted to turn the page after losing their last game. So how about you come out in this one? On the opening drive, you march the field 75 yards and put 6 on the board. You can't start a game better than that.
And the extra point is good. They're set to kick it off, and this crowd now ready to get behind them. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. This is what we expected. This crowd ready to make its presence known. Correct snap. Breaks the tackle. Defense in the right spot. They stop him after a gain of 2 to the 28.
You know what I really like about games like this at this point in the season? You find out who you are. You find out whether you're going to stay in the race.
And who can step up and handle the challenge, right? This is easily one of the toughest games to date for both of these programs coming into this one. So there's a lot of eyeballs, David, on this game to find out who's mentally and emotionally the toughest.
Yeah, and we're going to point to this game as we get later in the year in big decisions are made. You've got a top 25 win. You beat them in the middle of the season, X, Y, and Z, so these are big for the resume.
Looking to convert, they'll go to the Wildcat. On the direct snap, it's Johnson. They get him on the ground, but it'll be enough for the first down, and they might mark that down to use the Wildcat again.
Offenses that are great on third downs, what do? Most of the time, they keep it in manageable situations where they're not predictable, not just dropping back to pass. They do it.
He lobs one high down the left side. Makes the catch. Touchdown, Bayou Bengals. He got loose, and it was lights out after that. Extra point here will tie the game.
Quarterback's abilities to read the field is huge, and also the anticipation, the timing. To be able to throw the football, Jesse, and hit a guy in stride so he can get run after the catch and get in the end zone, that was a nice job by the quarterback.
Yeah, it's critical, David. Listen, a lot of times touchdown passes aren't thrown into the end zone. You've got to read the coverage, hit the open guy, and let him do the rest.
The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. That last touchdown drive was surgical through the air, Jesse.
It sure was, and that's why this offense is so dangerous, David, because they can score in a hurry because of how efficient they are throwing the football.
And welcome to modern college football. That's what it is. Spread you out, find my playmakers, make quick decisions, and really put defenses in a difficult situation.
So now it's second and long. Give to the back. Works ahead for a couple. They'll stop him at the 27. I wonder how much fun this is for him. The head coach trying to take down the old alma mater across the way.
Yeah, I think these are always mixed emotions and how you feel about this, playing your old squad. Like, it's something about it, I'm sure, that's nostalgic, and all the memories probably come flooding back. But there's also a competitive element, Palmer, that you want to beat this squad.
Snatches it on the right. And he picks up a huge chunk of yards on that play before he's finally hauled down.
And that is such an accurate throw. It's one thing to do it from the pocket when you have your feet set underneath you, but when you can get outside, off schedule, on the move, and throw a dart like that, that is just big time, and the offense gets a huge explosive play.
And I kind of like how the running back didn't mess around. Like, just get downhill when you see an opening. A lot of times they close so fast, man. Be decisive, stick your foot in the ground, pick up 3 to 4, and we are not going to complain.
Looking to buy time. Nowhere close on that one as he got drilled trying to deliver the football, and now they face third down.
I don't care how talented you are as a quarterback, but your accuracy always goes down when you get hit. Nice job by the QB, scrambling, working to his right, but he wasn't completing that pass with that pressure.
Quite a bit of work to do on third down from the 23, and this D would love to force a field goal try. Got the quick pass. He found his man and zipped it in there, and they've got a first down in the red zone at the 11. These two guys, just on the same wavelength, they make clutch connections all the time.
And that's practice, man. That's all summer. That's all spring. Just so many hundreds and thousands of balls where you know exactly when that guy's going to break. You know he's a stud. You're going to feed him, especially on these third down situations.
Second down coming up on this red zone opportunity. QB draw. And he's loose, and he'll take it to the house. Touchdown, Nittany Lions.
And I tell you what, Reese, I'm not picking a team unless I got a guy that can do something like this in the quarterback spot. I need an athlete. I need a little bit of mobility. Just dictates too much to the defense. QB runs in for 6.
And the PAT gives them a 14-7 lead. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. He's going to take a chance from midway in his end zone. Stopped at the 17, and he's probably second-guessing that return. First snap of this drive will come from their own 17. He wastes no time and comes out throwing. Got a man. It's Johnson. And good coverage by the defense, just a short game.
Well, the short passing game is a great go-to for any offensive coordinator in the first quarter because it's reliable, but it also allows you to see how the defense is going to react and play. So this can certainly open things up later.
Picks his way and gets 4 out to the 27.
I think that was an example of the offensive coordinator trying to help out his quarterback. He's trying to keep these third downs manageable. You know, you throw the ball on second down and it's incomplete. Now you've set up third and long, and now you're set up to fail.
Looking down the middle. Finds a tight end. And the big gain, and they've got it on the 46.
And it's on third downs like this. If you want to attack the middle of the field, you got to look for the tight end. Really nice route. Great job looking that football in. You can tell this quarterback really has a lot of confidence when he's in the pocket looking for the big fella, and they're able to hook up there.
Long incompletions are okay. You got to take shots. You got to make big plays in college football. I love that you're taking shots. Keep taking them. Some of those are going to come home. Some of them aren't. But when they come home, they equal big-time points.
This one's complete. Turning it on. He's all the way down to the 27-yard line, and they are threatening.
That wide receiver on the outside is dangerous. When you're playing zone coverage, it's really hard because you're not chasing him. You can't really get hands on him. You got to make sure you send more guys his direction. Maybe slide those linebackers toward that wide receiver so you got a little more help on the outside.
Jumped on top of the pile. We have the early makings of a quarterback duel, as these stats will show you. They've switched into the field, and we're ready to get things started here in the second. They go to the Wildcat here, looking to take advantage of that extra blocker. On the snap, it's Higgins. Defense played the Wildcat very well on that one, stopping them for a short gain.
And that run really didn't go anywhere. And a lot of times we don't focus on it enough. But how important those 5 guys are up front. To get on those defensive linemen, to try to move them out of the way, to get a run game going, it squarely falls on the shoulder of those 5 offensive linemen.
Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a 4th down.
And that's a play the defense absolutely had to have. This game right now is sort of still in the balance. And after a long drive by the offense on third down, the defense able to make a play.
Fires toward the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, LSU.
One of the areas they really focused on with this receiver in the offseason was we need you to make more plays for us in the end zone. When we're taking shots, we need you to be able to step up and make tough catches. And David, what a grab right there.
And I think a lot of that has to do with trusting your guy, knowing where he's going to be, knowing when he's going to sit down, when he's not. So being on the same page, and then having a guy that can go get it. Just when the ball is near him, he's going to make the play, just like he did right there for 6 points.
Give on the counter. Tackle was made at the 28 after a pickup of 3.
That's a really nice play. It's impressive. Once first down and the defense thinks you might be running the football, you still can line up. You can get some movement at the point of attack and find a little crease for your running back.
After the 3-yard pickup, they come to the line 2nd and 7. They'll go to the ground. Trucks through the defender. Cross the 30 to the 35, and that's a gain of 6.
You love to see this on offense. Early in drives, getting that kind of yardage keeps you ahead of the chains.
The Nittany Lions are facing 3rd and inches. They'll try to pick up the first through the air. Grabbed in the middle. It's Roberts. And he's brought down at the 40-yard line, and that'll be a 1st down.
Shotgun fundamentals are so key. He was like a shortstop. Caught the shotgun snap and right away rifled it out of his hands like he was turning 2. That was beautiful. successful. He did a nice job counting the box before the snap. He knew he had good numbers. He knew he had good angles and blocking. So that is a green-lit play from the get-go. Hand it off, go make yards.
Second down, they'll go to the air. Fires downfield. He's open on the right. Just what they were looking for, and he's got him set up in business at the 35 with a first down.
And it's so hard to be on the run and make an accurate throw. It's just very tough. Very few people can do it. I mean, again, we see the freaks and we see the highlights all the time, but that's a tough thing to do. He made it look pretty easy.
Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on first down. The Nittany Lions come to the line with a new set of downs. From the shotgun, the handoff to the back. Stopped at the 13-yard line as they try to turn this into points. The clock winds down to 2 minutes, and we will take a pause for the 2-minute timeout. Operating in the red zone here on second down. Motion from the wideout. They'll leave it with the lone back. They get him stopped, but those feet kept moving until he was down to the 5.
This defense really is on their heels. They've been on the field now for a long time on this drive, and they're just getting pushed around at the point of attack up front like we saw in that last one.
And he gets it back to the 4-yard line and no farther.
Listen, the offensive coordinator's best friend in the red zone is the running game. Make guys commit near the line of scrimmage so I can throw behind. This defense is good, but I'm going to challenge them. I'm going to try to be the more physical team. I love the play call. I think you keep running the football and stay physical.
They'll knock him down for a loss of a couple. Play number 11 on this drive. The defense has yielded ground, but they're trying to get a stop on 3rd and goal. Here's the snap, looking to throw. Almost intercepted in the end zone, and what a red zone stop that would have been. It'll be 4th down.
That's a big missed opportunity by the defense there, guys. If he's able to make that interception, all of a sudden their offense is back on the field. But now, because he dropped it, it's still 4th down, and of course they're in field goal range.
A long way to go on 4th and goal. Some early movement along the offensive line, and they'll walk it back. The officials offer the deal, and the coach accepts it. They will take the penalty. And they'll send out the kicker to try a field goal. Dead center perfect. And with that field goal, they now have the lead.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
Looks like he's going to bring it out. He's brought down at the 30, but a productive return after deciding to bring it out. To throw on 1st down. Buying some time. Lets it fly. It's complete.
And I don't know if this defense knows what just hit them because they gave up the completion, they gave up a 1st down, and now here's the offense back up at the line of scrimmage again, going tempo.
Looking to throw on first down. Snagged out of the air. And they pick up just a few on that completion.
And you throw a little hitch route. Nice job getting the ball out of his hands quickly. Wide receiver, quarterback. Nice job being on the same page. Nice completion, nice catch.
What will they dial up on second and a long way to go? Wants to go up top. He pulls it in. It's Johnson. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few. They were able to get the ball to the running back in space, but that space just evaporated.
And a great job on the defense, man. It's tough to get those guys on the ground. They're so used to having the football as running backs and making plays and being dynamic. So usually
Gonna take a shot. Got it. He gets it in. Touchdown, Tigers.
And I just love the execution by this offense. Late in the half, man, you want to take the lead. You want to get that momentum on your side, and they do it. They finish it with the passing game. I'll tell you what, keep that passing game up. You can keep this lead, keep the momentum, and keep putting up numbers.
Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Pocket breaking down. And the quarterback caught up to and sacked at the 12. Quick timeout by the defense here, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. And the Nittany Lions with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. That's caught. It's Hayes. And he'll make his way out of bounds after the solid pickup.
That's exactly what you're trying to get accomplished. You got to make sure on all these runs, clock running down, get out of bounds, right? Get some positive yards and then stop that clock.
They've got to come up with a big play on this third and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a chunk play. And he got smacked just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
Well, the defense finally has figured it out. That was critical for their confidence because they had been scored on earlier. They had given up a ton of yards. I think they understood the gravity of the situation. Third down, that was critical for them to get off the field, build momentum, build some confidence. Nice job that time by the defense.
This guy is a daring punt return man. He's not going to settle for the fair catch. A solid return gets a little bit of ground for the offense. They'll have just enough time to get one more snap before the half. The give to the tailback. Gets it past the first down marker and still running. Lots of running room. And he ran away from the crowd, and he'll take it in. Touchdown, Tigers.
This offense looks like they're in a rhythm. Whatever they've been dialing up here in the first half, they've had a lot of success with. You saw it on that last drive here at the end of the second quarter. Scoring a touchdown, they're going to be difficult to stop in the second half. The defense needs to start making adjustments.
That's the end of the second quarter. That means it's time to join Kevin and our halftime update. The Nittany Lions will try to kick this one deep to get things underway in the second half. And he's not going to take the touchback. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. Trying to start the drive with a pass. The sure hands, it's Johnson. Makes the grab, but not quite enough for the first down, but a good gain on that play. And the Tigers can really attack on this second and short. Snap it to the back. He breaks a tackle. He'll get a fresh set of downs stopped at the 31-yard line.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
stop him. He's got it again. Slams ahead for a yard out to the 33.
Man, it's really hard to control the running game if you don't control the line of scrimmage. And how about the defensive line doing a great job attacking those guys up front, not open up lanes to run through. Nice job just nullifying that run altogether.
And he was drilled just as he released the pass. It's incomplete.
And finally the defense is able to get some pressure on this quarterback. They had been trying all game long different ways to affect him and weren't able to get there. But on that play, because of the pressure, it affected his accuracy. That's why.
Breaks into the open. Powers through. He's got the first down, and they did a brilliant job getting them out flanked with the Wildcat.
And you want to put a winning streak together like this team has, run the football and create explosive plays. Nice job by the offense, showing the speed. How about the blocking up front? Everybody blocking, getting a hat on a hat, creating the explosive run.
Sends it back in motion. On the direct snap, it's Johnson. Finding open areas. Touchdown, Tigers! And they take it in for 6 more points. They've extended the lead and taken control here in Week 9.
Man, these ball carriers, they've got a lot of ability in the open field. Their ability to make people miss, but also show off the speed. You saw all of that on that play.
We check in with Kevin Connors. What's going on, Kevin?
A bit of an under-the-radar game this week, guys, but take a look at this. Oklahoma is lighting up the scoreboard right now thanks to a dazzling offensive display. They're up by 21 over Purdue. We'll circle back if anything big happens in this college football matchup.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. Makes it grab for a big play. He flips his field in an instant, and he's got him set up at the 20.
Thank you very much. That's what the quarterback's thinking on that last play. I think he was even shocked that his receiver was that wide open downfield. He'll take it.
From the red zone, looking for a receiver. Finds his big tight end. That one takes it down to the 13-yard line.
All right, defense, you know coming into this game you're playing a fast quarterback. You know it's not going to be easy getting him on the ground. You got to start thinking about how you're pass rushing. You know, rushing right up the middle and allowing him to get outside, it's going to be a tough task.
They'll move the wide receiver. They'll leave it with him. He's dragged down at the 12 as they try to cash in on this red zone opportunity. The Nittany Lions come to the line on 3rd and short, looking to keep this drive moving. He wants to change this route. Motion from the wide receiver. They'll throw on 3rd and short. Here he goes breaking the pocket. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Penn State!
Man, and these hurt because defensively you got him right where you want him. You got him backed up. Got to make him make a play, but you want to make him throw. He doesn't throw because he can do that. Look him scramble around, make something out of nothing, and run it in for the score.
They're set to kick it off. You think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? And he's going to bring this one out. He stopped at the 23, a couple yards short of where he would have been with a touchback. This drive opens up at the 23-yard line. To the air on 1st down. The quick out. And a good job in coverage there as they stop it after just a few.
What's important in this game, this offense gets the running back involved out in the perimeter in space where he can do some damage. That time they got it to him throwing the football. He picked up a couple of yards, but it gives the defense something to think about.
They'll go with the direct snap. Cross the 30 out to the go back to that one in a big spot as they pick up the first down out of the Wildcat.
And that's a nice third down conversion for this offense. And I tell you what, the struggle for this offense has been stringing those first downs together. They're not in the top 50 in college football in first downs. They'll get one, and then they kind of stall. Let's see if they can put multiple first downs together, get one of those long drives going.
Lining up in the Wildcat, let's see what they've got. Snap to the back. Picks up the first down. Wide open spaces. He's at the 10. Touchdown, LSU. He found some open space and turned on the Jets.
Man, I am a great play caller when I can hand it to guys like that. And he can go that far to the house, create big plays, showed you a little bit of vision, showed you a little bit of burners. When he kicked it in gear, he got the long touchdown.
And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. They'll put this one in play. First snap of the drive from the 25. They'll start this drive going to the air. Takes a hit as he fires. Intercepted, and that total goes to 16. And he's going to take it all the way back. Touchdown, Bayou Bengals.
What a great play. He gets the pick six, but that started with pressure on the quarterback. Getting in his lap, hitting him while he's throwing the football. The ball is off target. The defense makes the play and takes it all the way to the end zone.
And it'll come out to the 25. No attempt at a return. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. The big thing now, don't get rattled by that last pick six, David.
Nah, it was a big mistake.
Another interception. That's number 17 on the year. Going the other way, and he's got room. He'll be stopped, but not before getting the football and picking up big yardage on the return. What a play there. Does life get any better than this for an offense to start a drive with a first and goal? And he'll race it to the house. Touchdown, LSU.
You know, this offense knew coming into the season it was so important for this guy to stay healthy. They needed him week in, week out because he plays at such a high level, and he's showing it here. That last carry was his 10th rushing touchdown of the season.
Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. And no chance at a return here. They'll start this drive at their own 25. The drive starts from their own 25-yard line. Smith wants to throw. Starting to feel a little pressure. Hit as he throws. And it's incomplete. If you're going to take a hit like that, you might as well hang on to the ball.
All right, you've dug yourself a little bit of a hole offensively. You know you're going to have to throw it here in the second half. You're going to have to make sure, though, you do a better job up front with your pass pro. You got to keep your quarterback standing upright.
A strike downfield. And they make the tackle, but it'll be enough for a first down, and we'll see if they get another playoff here in the third. Guys, LSU has the lead here. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the fourth. Final stands of the game, and we'll start with the first down. Let's go! Looking to throw on first down. Looking to scramble. Uncorks one to the middle. And they won't be able to connect downfield, looking for a big-time play.
And this game's starting to tick away for this offense, and they're getting in desperation mode. They've got to be able to find a way to make plays in the pocket. It's not going to be the scrambles out wide. You need passing plays deep down the field. They've got to find some way to attack this secondary.
Gets rid of it. He can't find anybody. It'll be incomplete as the defense does a really good job in coverage.
At this point of the game in the fourth quarter, it is going to be tough for this offense to get some completions here because now, trailing by this much, the defense is expecting pass, and they're putting a whole bunch of extra DBs on the field to help them out in coverage.
Trying to beat him to the corner on the right. Defense just going after him. They stop him for a loss of 6.
A lot of times offenses will do the FIB, formation into the boundary, try to take advantage of you necessarily spreading out, sending more resources to the field, try to take advantage. Offense gave it a whirl for the defense. They did not move. They did.
A shot toward the end zone. And he throws another interception, his third one of the night.
And that's a really good job by the defense, understanding the situation of football. It's fourth down. It's late in the game. You got a multi-possession lead. Take away all the deep stuff. Make them force the football into coverage. They do, and they stamp this game.
I'm a little bit surprised they're still throwing the football here this late in the game with this kind of lead. They're on first down, taking a shot, falls incomplete, but obviously they're still seeing matchups that they want to take advantage of in the back end of this defense, so they're letting it fly.
Building momentum, picking up a chunk of yardage, moving the chains out to the 34. Looking for a productive play on first down. Wants to go up top on first down. Oh, he wants it all. Hits him inside the 20, still going. And he eluded the defense, and he'll take it all the way. Touchdown, Tigers. That score will give them a little more room to operate here in the fourth quarter as they go for their 6th straight win.
Pure domination all game long for this offense. Whether they've been running the football, whether they've been throwing the football, critical down and distances, situationally all up and down the field. This defense has had no answer for these guys. What an impressive performance by the Oak.
And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. There's a lot of pressure when you have that number 1 beside your name, and perhaps it was the pressure, perhaps it was just one of those days, but that reign is coming to an end.
Well, not a great run there, but I think what the coaching staff is trying to do is they're trying to help out their quarterback. He's thrown interceptions on each of his last 2 drives, and the best way to try to settle him down is to get the running game established. But I think the defense is aware of that right now, loading the box. Everybody up front is ready for the run.
Got him downfield. A huge play, and they get it all the way to the 45-yard line. And the best thing about this, the offense can't worry about the scoreboard. Just keep trying to make plays like that, Jesse.
I know a lot of people in the stadium probably feel like this game is over, and maybe it's been over for a while, Reese, but don't tell that to this quarterback and his teammates. They're still out there scrapping and clawing.
Complete to the left. Stopped and forced out of bounds at the 21-yard line, just outside the red zone, and they are looking to get one in here. The Nittany Lions getting set on 1st and 10. Smith dropping to pass. Looking to scramble. Slings it downfield. Got his man. Now the connection takes it to the 11.
And that's kind of crazy. I didn't think that would happen coming into this football game. I didn't think we'd get in the fourth quarter and just call his name. This offense, man, he is a big play, dynamic weapon. They got to continue to get him the ball more because he can make enormous plays for your offense.
Going to work in the red zone. They can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. They go to the ground. And he'll take it in for the touchdown. It won't have much impact on the outcome of the game, but it is a fabulous parting gift, a consolation prize, if you will.
Well, it's good to finally see this offense have a little bit of success because that has not been the case in this game. Nothing has gone their way. They keep shooting themselves in the foot. You know, guys, coaches are always trying to find things to build on, and this is at least something late in this game, scoring that touchdown that hopefully helps build their confidence the next time they take the field.
So after reviewing the undisputable video evidence, the replay booth has decided to overturn the call. The Nittany Lions trying to get a touchdown on 1st and goal. Fires into the end zone. And it's his 4th interception of the game. And they'll close in on him after a good return on the interception.
Nice job by this defense. That might be the exclamation point. 4th quarter, I got a lead. You bring on the nickel defense. You know they're passing the football for plays just like that to make the INT and almost put this one away.
A most efficient pickup of 6 on 1st down. It's 2nd and 4. Wide receiver comes in motion. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Great job at contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened.
We've reached a 2-minute timeout. In all likelihood, they could just run the clock out. We'll see if they want to rub a little salt in the wound. The Tigers are at the line looking to convert on 3rd and short. Looking to throw for it. Going for the big play. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
And that's a good stop for this defense. And listen, there hasn't been a lot of positive today, but let's finish this game strong. I think that'll be the message from the defensive coordinator. Can we get a stop? Can we get them off the field? I know lots went wrong, but let's live in this moment and try to be great right here to end the game.
And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. Penn State sends the offense back onto the field. Not a lot to feel great about in this one, Jesse, but I'm sure they'll try to seek out some positives.
Well, this might be an opportunity, too, Reese, to go back when they watch this game and just find the plays and the schemes that were working. There weren't a lot, obviously, David, but maybe an opportunity for the coaching staff to condense the playbook a little bit.
I was going to say, there's not a lot of good to go back to. That'd be a quick film session because there was more negatives than positives. But when you look at this week you've got a week to figure it out, figure out what your offense is going to be moving forward.
He's going for the big play. They almost had another interception. They're trying to set records out there.
And this defense has put a game together. It is hard to put all the facets of defense together. Run defense, pass defense. They've been so good, man. Dialed in. You could tell they were ready. They were fast. They were physical. They dominated this football game today.
It'll be 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. He is sacked way behind the line of scrimmage. Just a catastrophic play there.
And this defense came to play. They know about the high-profile QB. They rose to the challenge and dominated the competition today. They took care of business, and they made no doubt about who's the better football team.
A deep throw as the clock winds down. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers. And they are stopped on 4th down. That decision will be questioned. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Gonna take a shot. And it was worth the gamble, but the long pass is incomplete.
And how about this offense? They're not worried about the clock. They're not worried about the score. They're not worried about early and down. Still trying to execute their offense. Still trying to make big plays. And they've had a great day so far.
Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. Wide open downfield. He's got enough. them in victory formation for the rest of this one.
Well, this offense has just been dialing up explosive play after explosive play. That's a big part of why they have a huge lead at this point. And even in the fourth quarter with that lead, they are still taking shots. They are still being aggressive, pedal to the metal.
We thought we'd see a little wildcat formation in this spot, and here it is. Direct snap. It's Higgins. And this offense hoped to just run it in, and the defense was having none of it. No gain. Ball remains at the 2. They moved it forward to the 2. Now it's 2nd and goal. Wide receiver going in motion. They'll go up top on 2nd and short. Got his man. He is going nowhere. Stop at the line of scrimmage. Now it's 3rd and goal. Direct snap. And we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
And it hasn't mattered what they've called, guys, offensively all game long, or who's been on the field, what personnel groupings there have been. They're simply executing at a higher level than this defense, and they're keeping their foot on the pedal here in the fourth quarter.
He'll try to tack on one more. And with that extra point, the lead remains in the gargantuan category. A very efficient 5-play scoring drive. And close the deal with a 3-yard touchdown run. After scoring that touchdown, they'll try to get it right back with an onside kick. He's able to grab the football, and the hands team gets the job done.
Well, here in the fourth quarter, they were obviously expecting onside kick. They got their hands team on the field. They're able to jump on the ball and make sure they get possession.
The Nittany Lions going back to work on offense now. This one has pretty much been a bludgeoning, but they'll try to finish with something positive late.
Well, they ran into a buzzsaw today, and I don't think it would matter what type of X's and O's they're out there executing, David. Jimmy's and the Joes, they're just not as good as the opponent today.
And as an athlete, it sometimes hits you in the face and it stings, but you're not good enough. And today they were not good enough. And I'm going to do the best I can to try to flush this down the toilet, not remember it, forget it.
Snags it! I'm sorry, you're unlikely to win today, but here's a fabulous party. A late touchdown.
And a nice touchdown. Continuing to fight, continuing to play. This one, it's pretty much over. Down multiple possessions this late in the football game. It would take a miracle, but nice job by this offense continuing to fight, push the ball down the field, make plays.
Flushed out of the pocket. Throw to the end zone, picked off.
I love the coverage by the defense right here. Great job getting up in their space. Nothing easy down here for a 2-point conversion. The interception was just great.
They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. Looks like he's going to bring it out. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. We'll see what they can do on this drive that starts at the 16-yard line. They'll start this drive going to the air. He lets one fly deep. Pulls it in on the right. Off and running. And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard.
And you knew this one was over already, but how about an exclamation point to go with it? Another score for this offense. They've had themselves a great day, and the stats just continue to pile up.
They'll try to pound their way in. He's not going to make it. They stop him at the 1, and the 2-pointer is no good. They'll try to follow that last touchdown with an onside kick. That's why they call them the hands team. They're able to secure the onside kick.
And this is why you put your hands team on the field most of the time when you know it's coming, and you put those guys that are great catchers of the football. The first guys, what do? They go block. They go blow somebody up. The next guys catch the football, secure it, get your butt on the ground. And most of the time when you do this, the ball game is over.
He's going to let it go. And here's the 5th interception by this quarterback.
Well, man, we've seen explosive offensive firepower all game long, and here we are late in an obvious passing situation trying to get this thing close. The big INT, finally the defense makes a play, and David, it looks like they've just closed the door on this one.
Well, and you know, Mr. Quarterback, defense.
He tries to take the top off. And as the ball falls incomplete, the clock strikes 0. They get the W, and with that being win number 6, looks as if they're going bowling, guys.
And that's a good moment for the squad, right? Like, you start every season, you have big goals. It usually starts with your conference championship and winning a national championship, maybe going to the playoffs. Everybody has different goals, but getting to a bowl is always sweet, and this team's eligible now.
I know the coaches are really happy about this, the AD and the fans, because they know what it means for the program, right? You're going to get those 15 extra practices at the end of the year to help develop young talent. Looking ahead to next season, but that's next season. There's still a lot of football left to go this year. Let's just see how good of a bowl game they can get to.
That will put the